states with those sales. Officials say if the bill is approved and signed by Governor Braun, online lottery sales wouldn't start till the summer of 2027 due to the time needed to hire vendors and set up measures to prove buyers are 18 and older within Indiana state lines. The bill is now before the full House. A new report shows that more people are moving to Kentucky than in previous years. U-Haul recently released its growth index report showing the number of people moving into states versus number of those moving out. Kentucky moved from 25th place in 2024 to 17th in 2025, meaning there are more people moving into the state than before. Texas saw the most one-way moves into the state, while California saw the most one-way moves out of their state. Find the latest at OwensboroRadio.com. Reporting for Cromwell Media, I'm Rob Nichols.
When something goes wrong with your plumbing, it never happens at a good time. It happens fast, and it needs fixed fast. Call RFI Plumbing. We're local, licensed, fully insured, and ready to handle everything from emergency leaks to everyday repairs and full plumbing projects. No guesswork, no runaround. Just clear communication, quality work, and a good job done right. When it matters most, trust the local pros at RFI Plumbing.
When the uniform comes off, the service doesn't end. I'm Brian Basham. Join me every Saturday morning on K-News 101.3 for The Other Side of Service. Real conversations about life after the uniform. Hear from veterans and veteran service organizations like AMVETS, the VFW, the American Legion, the Owensboro-Davis County Veterans Organization, and Veterans Empowered Together. The Other Side of Service, Saturdays 7 to 10 a.m. on K-News 101.3.
And now, Western Kentucky weather on 102.7 The Game.
Here's your 14 first alert forecast for the overnight hours. Partly cloudy with a low of 37. On Thursday, cloudy with rain likely in the afternoon and evening. A few thunderstorms possible. Scattered storms on Thursday night. Some could be severe with a low of 41. And on Friday, more thunderstorms. Windy with a high of 66. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons with your 14 first alert forecast.
From the Floor Concept Studios. Legally, we're WLME 102.7 FM, Lewisport. But you can just call us The Game. 102.7. On the air. The 1 and the 2.7.
Answers, Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to
Live at 5.
It's Live at 5, and it's brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. And now, your host for Live at 5, Stephen A. Turner.
What's up and welcome to Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree. Your one call for injury law.
Yes.
That's FWHlegal.com. Vic Evans sitting in the captain's chair today for Stephen A. Turner. He's making a trip down to Alabama and back. How about getting in the car at 3:30 this morning?
Well, I hear
driving to Alabama to deliver a bid and then getting back in the car and driving back.
I thought it was because the Crimson Tide fans were ready to run DeBoer out of town, and Steve Turner was just interviewing for the Crimson Tide job. That's what I was heard. That's what I was told. Anyway.
Interviewing for the quarterback's job for Ty Simpson. The golden pipes there you hear. David Clark, make sure you're following 102.7 The Game, all social media platforms, X, Facebook, Instagram. We just put up the Harris Group stat leaders for the boys and girls today. It was rebounding. You got Landon Henning from Apollo leading on the boys' side. You got Carrie Ann Williams on the girls' side, but they're the top 10 in both the girls and boys. Every Wednesday, you can find the Harris Group stat leaders. And then also make sure if you missed the show, you can find it and go back and listen wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, iTunes, or iHeart, or wherever any platform out there you get your podcast. Search Live at 5. Make sure you subscribe, leave us a review. Let us know what you think. And when you want to hit us up on the Green River Area Federal Credit Union text line, 270-903-0389. And then we're out there streaming on X, Facebook, and YouTube on the live stream. It's a big show today. Segment 1, we'll do a little high school recap of basketball around the ESPN Owensboro area yesterday. Segment 2, we had the Above All Roofing True or False. And in segment 3, we got a couple Green River Area Federal Credit Union guest of the game. You got now the number 2 in all-time wins at Davis County, Coach Neil Hayden, as he moved to the number 2 spot last night, past Mike West.
Yes.
Good old Mike West. He coached Little League with my dad.
Yeah, I think didn't you used to do like if you got points off of your license, wasn't it Mike West?
Oh, he did the traffic school.
Yes,
I had to take him a couple times, Mike West.
He got me one time too.
Yep, I had to go in there all the time with traffic school with Mike West. And also, Mr. Basketball candidate John Moss, whose recruitment is now open as he is decommitted from Chattanooga. And I would think there's going to be a Power 4 announcement coming before too long for Mr. Moss.
What did Jerry Maguire say? Show me the money.
There you go.
Show it to me.
Absolutely, show me the money.
And Moss deserves it. You know, when you perform at a level that he's performing at, I don't think there. You know, I know a lot of people got mixed feelings about NIL and the way things are going. I've got some thoughts about that we can get into.
We'll talk about that in segment 2, the true false, because that's part of it.
Well, and I've been following. There's a bunch of agents out there, and one that I would like to get on the show at some point in the near future. We can talk about it off the air, but you know, I think to clean up college NIL, Vic, I think we're going to have to get to a point where we can get collective bargaining on the table, but that's not going to happen until the way legally it's structured right now. They don't consider like the whole employment issue and the way they ruled in favor.
Well, what comes when to collective bargaining, then high school or college athletes are going to become employment of the school.
Yes,
and then that comes with a whole lot of each state regulations as far as insurance and how you get kicked out of school and a lot of protections and a lot of other things. So that's a whole nother Pandora's box that you will open up. I'm curious to see. There's a big court case that's going to be coming up. It's not court. It's the NCAA. And I'm curious to see what they did. Chambliss at Ole Miss,
Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah, he is applying for a 6th year.
Yes,
and part of his argument is, and I knew this was coming, and this is what's got me worried of where we're going to be 10 years from now in high school or college athletics. Part of this was he can sign at Ole Miss. He's got a contract ready to sign, and he's actually signed it because he's going back. It's like $4.4 million.
Wow.
And he is saying, where can I make this money anywhere else? This is discrimination. You are impeding with a arbitrary rule my ability to make money.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people are saying that the NCAA may go ahead and grant the 6th year and kick the can down the road, because if they deem him ineligible, then he'll end up in court. And then if the court decides in the player's favor, then it's playing college sports for 10 or 15 years until they don't want to pay you anymore.
Is it just Trinidad, or is it
he's the only one?
It hasn't become class action
so
yet?
No, just like with Pavia's thing, Pavia has got – there's Pavia, there's a couple other guys who have a court case, but there's not enough people to make it a class action.
Okay.
So if Pavia is granted another year, because what he was trying to do was get his 2 years of junior college back.
Yes.
Which I understand his argument that if I go to prep school, it doesn't count against me.
Right.
And prep schools play junior colleges.
And currently, JUCO doesn't count for the
no,
new guys, right?
No. It was just they granted 1 year back, and it was for a 1 year deal.
1 year, okay.
So now Pavia and some other guys are suing again, trying to get that 2nd year back. But because there's not enough guys involved in that lawsuit, if they rule to give Pavia another year, it's not a class action. Not everybody gets their junior college back, just the guys in that lawsuit.
Right.
But so it'll be interesting to see. And then the whole thing with Washington, that's an interesting one with their quarterback.
It's Vic.
See what their quarterback did?
No. Tell me.
Yeah. So for people out there who don't know, so Washington's quarterback, who had a monster year,
yes,
they signed him to an NIL deal. Okay, and he signed. It was a 1 year deal. I don't know how much money it was. I don't know if they reported it and stuff. And supposedly in this deal, it says you can't do this and you can't do that. And one of the things he couldn't do was enter the portal. Well, then he gets contacted by LSU, which is also tampering anyway.
Well, it should be.
Because LSU's out there looking for a quarterback in Kiffin. And all of a sudden, Washington's quarterback enters the portal today. And so Washington's saying
wow, what a coincidence.
The University of Washington is now saying, we're not letting you out of this contract. You signed the contract. You're either playing at Washington or you're not playing. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes and how that whole thing does. And, it's like I said, you signed the deal with Washington, and then you got contacted by a couple other schools that maybe were offering more money, and you were like, well, I'm going into the portal now.
Yeah. And
it's
Vic,
getting crazy.
I think to wrap up this discussion just for today is we can do a whole show just on this topic. I think to kind of put it all together real quick, if we don't get to a point where the contracts kind of, and I'm not saying to penalize the kids because I think the kids should always get paid. I think they should have always gotten paid. They always did get paid in the SEC. Let's be honest.
They did. That's why the SEC can't win anymore. Everybody else is paying players.
Everybody else is paying players. I think it's got to do a lot to do with the coaching too. I think the coaching in the SEC is terrible as well. But I think if we don't get to the point,
the coaching was bad in the SEC before Ed Orgeron won a national title. It all to do because they were all out there paying players more than that nobody else was, and they were loading up with players.
I love some Ed. Man,
name me an SEC team that didn't go on. Name me an SEC team at some point wasn't on probation.
In football?
Yes.
Vanderbilt.
That's the only one. And they were terrible. They never won until they started paying players.
That's right. That's right. We can't discriminate or disparage the great name of Vanderbilt and Clark Lee with Evan Hampton down there. But I will say this, Vic. I think because what I'm afraid of is what's going to happen is that the college football and college sports fans in general are just very passionate. Big Blue Nation's passionate about basketball, Alabama, and you can name them all, right? I think at the end of the day, when you take a rabid fan base for their respective schools and you don't know what the roster is going to be the following year, how can you expect people to pour into these teams? Not just financially, because your boosters are going to, you want these guys to pour in, you want the Joe Crafts to pour in everything. But if you don't have the ability to follow these guys and follow their journey and get vested into their story, I always go back to the old adage. I can tell you that I was so locked into Kentucky basketball in the 90s under Pitino that I could tell you that Jared Prickett averaged 32.5 points per game at Fairmont West High School in West Virginia. These guys, we have no idea who's going to be on the team. So if the fan interest, because TV money drives everything in college sports,
without
right?
a doubt.
If the fan interest starts to dip because you don't know who the roster, you just can't get attached to a team anymore. Where does the game just gets out of whack and it's gonna fall over. I think collective bargaining is what's going to save it.
I think
it's
you're
got to
right.
get there.
Well, let's get to a little high school scoreboard real quick, and we're going to start with the biggest matchup in the region last night as Ohio County hosted Muhlenberg. You get that three-team district. Both teams are 1-0. Who would get a leg up and get the victory to go to 2-0 in the district? And it's Ohio County who's playing really well right now. They win 67-52. Ryan Durham showed out last night. How about 35 points, got his 1,000th point in his career in the game. And then also Emmanuel Suarez, who has really been playing really well to transfer in from Puerto Rico. How about this game last night as he went for 10 points, 15 rebounds from the point guard position last night. Ohio moves to 12-1. They are winners of 11 straight, Dave.
Yeah.
And Muhlenberg drops it to 9-5. And I think, I'm not going to ask you the question because I have it in my questions in the true or false. This is another nice win. You look at talking about, teams of where they fit in the regional rankings. Ohio County with the wins over Apollo, with wins over Muhlenberg. That's a pretty nice 12-1 start.
They've only lost one game this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ohio County, that was to Grayson County all the way back on December the 9th. So, you got to give props to Coach Briggins on what he's building there in Hartford. And I think, again, the talent level has increased. I like the brand of basketball that Ohio County plays. They play the modern game where we're shooting layups and shooting threes. And I think sometimes, the only thing I think that coaches have to fight against that now, and I think Coach Briggins would probably agree, is like you don't want the bad threes, right?
Right.
You want threes in the flow of the offense, and that seems to be what Ohio County's getting right now. I think when you look at the roster and what Suarez brings and being able to kind of guide the ship and guys like Holtzclaw that are complementary players and whatnot, this is Ohio County is going to be a team that you don't want to see at the Sports Center.
No, because they can go out and hit 15, 23 pointers.
Yes, exactly.
And Durham is putting his name right there as an ESPN Owensboro All-Area first-teamer, playing tremendous. Last night, I was over at Davis County with Keith as he sat in with me to call the game.
Keith come out of retirement?
He did. Came out of retirement.
Man.
We had Davis County and Breck, and the one thing we do know is Bradley Payne is no longer allowed in beautiful scenic Harn. He's been banned for Breck as they win.
They actually took his state championship ring from him and everything. It's over. I'm sorry, Brad.
74-33. Moss led the way with 25. Acton pitched in 21. Along the way, his first bucket, he went over 1,000 career points on his career. Watkins and Randolph both pitched in 12. The Panthers are now 13-3. Breck drops to 5-9. Ryan Nottingham, he led the way with 12 points. I thought he played well. I thought last night it was the Davis County defense. It was kind of a lethargic first quarter, and then they came out and put on their 2-2-1 full court trap. And at one point, I know officially Davis County needs to probably go back and restat the game because at one point, Keith and I were talking about whether or not Davis County would end up with more steals than Breck had points.
Yeah.
Because they flat put some defense on and shut everything down about Breck.
What I like about this game for Davis County, because you look at the Panthers and I mean they're top 3 pretty much consensus, 3 to 4 in every major poll that you're going to see out there, whether it's Bluegrass Preps or Kentucky Sports Radio poll.
No, they're 3 to 5.
3 to 5,
yep.
something like that, and deservedly so because they've only lost 3 games this year, and all 3 have been to prep schools. On the grind session circuit.
Yes, and they've all I think 2 of the 3 were in the top 20 in the country.
Yeah, I mean, and Vic, here's the kicker. They didn't get blown out in any of those.
No, they should have won the last one. They played, St. Joe's out of California.
Yes.
They probably should have won that one.
You know, so I think when you come back home for Davis County and you're playing the Breckenridge counties and you're going to play Butler County and some of the other teams in the region who's just not going to be able to compete with you, I think it's a chance to develop your bench.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the big question mark because what happens if Davis County gets to Rupp Arena and Moss gets in foul trouble or Watkins gets in foul trouble.
Here's the thing. They go 7 deep. You know, they play Caden Payne off the bench. They also play Silas Goebel,
yes,
who gives them really good minutes off the bench too. What I found when you get to the regional tournament, you get to the state tournament, there's not a lot of whistles. And at the state tournament, you don't have to worry. Well, not since 86.
Well,
but anyway, I will say, you just don't want to run against anybody that's already committed to UK.
I will tell you this. In 2014, in Owensboro played Louisville Trinity in the first round. I think Eric Holman played about 3.5 minutes the whole game.
And then, but also the TV timeouts allow you get so many more timeouts than what you get because everything's videoed and you get TV timeouts, so that changes it. Grayson County made easy work of Madisonville, winning 80-34. How about Trinity? They take down
you said Grayson.
Yeah.
Real quick. I want to touch on Grayson real quick because I was telling Steve, I'd actually called Steve to check on him because I thought he was sick, but he was just making his way back from Alabama trying to get Kalen DeBoer's job. So I talked to him today and I said, man, what fascinates me about Grayson County right now is I don't think they're even close to their ceiling yet.
No, I don't think so.
And because that team, when you add –
there's a lot of parts that have been added. You got to get cohesiveness.
Look at Martis coming in, right? That's a big addition to the group, and I thought they were kind of just starting to adjust to Martis being on the team. Now throw in
all of that. Martis got hurt, missed some games, and then you throw in Gaither.
And you're talking guys that like are explosive, high volume type of either any of those guys, Vic Martis or Gaither, those guys can go for 30+ on any given night. But the one thing you can't substitute and you can't shortcut for, you can bring in all the talent you want, but if you have to build a team chemistry. Martis and Gaither and some of these guys, they have to learn how to play within the flow of the offense and how to get, because you at the end of the day, basketball. The best teams that go on a run, if Grayson County is going to get to Rupp Arena and they're going to go on a run at Rupp Arena, it has to be a team effort. There is no Kentucky high school basketball team that at least that I can remember that's going to just do one-on-one, roll out the basketball type of thing. And I think this Grayson County team is still figuring out who they are.
So too.
And I'm telling you, Vic, I'm just saying, just watch the Cougars.
February 17th, Grayson at Davis County will be a good one.
I think. Question for you on that.
Yes.
We'll talk about before Coach Payne gets, or before Coach Hayden gets here. Do you really want to play that game that late? I don't.
I wouldn't, but that's just the way the schedule works.
Because first of all, who cares who wins, right? Because you're going to play again in a week and a half.
Maybe. Yeah.
So, let's be honest. It's going to happen.
Maybe February 12th.
Whether it's in the semifinals or the championship game, those two teams are playing.
Unless there's some major upset.
It's not going to happen.
I don't think so either.
Grayson and Davis are light years better than everybody else in the third region.
OSS loses a close game, trying to get their first win. They dropped to Hopkinsville 46-45. Edmondson takes down Logan County 82-74, double overtime. Tyler Wilson with 19. Braden Wright, Jonah Massey, Owen Ruth, all were in double figures. On the girls' side, Edmondson took down Logan County 55-37. K.A.N. Williams, just a normal night for her, 20 points, 10 rebounds. She did become the all-time leader Edmondson County free throws made in that game, so you always love to give that out. Abby Sapp had a double-double last night. Owensboro won big at Hoptown on the girls' side, 66-27. Hancock beat Trinity 40-38. And Ohio County got a Big 10th District win over Muhlenberg on the girls' side, 60-42. Emily Eiler led the way, 21 points, 10 boards. Celeste Jakowitz and Lily Hill were both in double
We started
figures.
with that one in the regional tournament last year. She had made that big play, remember?
Yeah. Well, let's take a pause for the calls for Karen Gross, a realtor with RE/MAX Professional Realty Group. Your dream is her mission. You can contact her 270-315-9810, or you can find her at karengross.net. Up next, it's the Above All Roofing True or False. It's live at 5, 102.7, The Game.
Hi, this is Duke Brubaker.
When lives are changed due to injuries or death resulting from personal injuries, Aggress Legal Representation is critical to obtain a winning result. Foreman Watson Holtry has a proven track record of winning thousands of personal injury cases throughout our region and beyond. Find out why we win our injury cases. Foreman Watson Holtry, dedicated to you, committed to justice, fwhlegal.com.
Chad, how do winners win shopping for a new vehicle?
The Red Tag event at Don Moore on 54. They'll be winning, picking, and grinning.
All in one place. New Chevy Trax, $23,495 or $299 a month.
And with non-commissioned product specialists.
There's no fiddling around. New Silverado Crew Cab, $39,990 or $499 a month. DonMooreChevy.com. Scan the code.
Radio. Unsportsmanlike delivers the passion every true sports fan craves. Brought to you by Floor Concepts, where design meets durability. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings, 5 to 8, only on 102.7 The Game.
Looking for a financial partner you can trust? Look no further than Green River Area Federal Credit Union. Whether you're saving for the future, buying a new home, or need a loan, we've got you covered with competitive rates and personalized service. Join the community that cares about your financial well-being. Visit Green River Area Federal Credit Union at one of our 3 locations in Henderson, Greenville, or Owensboro and experience the difference today. Your money, your future, your credit union. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Travis Holtry from Foreman Watson Holtry. We have been known as Owensboro's personal injury law firm for 15 years. And it all began when we became the one call for injury law. In 15 years, that hasn't changed. Foreman Watson Holtry truly is your one call for injury law. Foreman Watson Holtry, dedicated to you, committed to justice. fwhlegal.com.
Southwire in Hallsville has been family-owned since 1950 and strives to be generationally sustainable for years to come. They are one of the leading manufacturers of wire and cable used in the transmission and distribution of electricity. Southwire delivers power to millions of people around the world. Their mission to be a preferred provider of solutions to the electrical industry by providing innovative products and services with exceptional quality and delivering on our promises. They also are proud supporters of all Hancock County athletics. Go Hornets!
Living life at a healthy weight can be challenging, but Owensboro Health's weight management team has the resources to help. Whether you are looking for nutrition counseling and fitness training at the health park, or clinically supervised weight loss medications or weight loss surgery with our bariatric surgeon, you'll find the support you need to maintain a healthy weight and live a healthier, happier life. Learn more at owensborohealth.org/livewell.
When something goes wrong with your plumbing, it never happens at a good time. It happens fast, and it needs fixed fast. Call RFI Plumbing. We're local, licensed, fully insured, and ready to handle everything from emergency leaks to everyday repairs and full plumbing projects. No guesswork, no runaround. Just clear communication, quality work, and a good job done right. When it matters most, trust the local pros at RFI Plumbing.
Let's get back to Live at 5 with Steve and Coach on 102.7 The Game.
It's Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman, Watson, Holtree. Your one call for injury law. It's FWHlegal.com. Vic Evans, David Clark in the Floor Concept Studios, getting ready for the Above All Roofing. True or false? You get roofing damage, gutter damage, window damage.
Yes.
See Chris Estes at Above All Roofing. Dave, can he take care of you?
Yes, he can.
Yes, he can. He'll get you taken care of. And I got to ask you, Dave, true or false? This is the first time in the history of Indiana high school basketball that on a Friday night, there is exactly one game scheduled through the whole state.
Yes, this Friday. There's only one game, Vic.
One high school basketball game.
Shame on them for scheduling it.
Yeah, right. How do you not reschedule that? Every game that got rescheduled, blame Kirk Cignetti and IU football. IU's now a football state. That is amazing that every high school rescheduled Friday's game in the entire state of Indiana. You know how Indiana's as big in high school basketball, if not bigger than maybe the state of Kentucky. I mean, when you look at it, you look at it, the top 10 high school arenas in the country,
yes,
9 of them are in the state of Indiana.
Yes.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Regional tournaments in Indiana are just such a big deal. That's why the facilities got bigger and bigger and bigger, because the biggest facility got to host
them.
So then you get all the way up, which I don't think the Wigwam's in use.
That was a true. I went to a game at the Wigwam where I went to Anderson High School versus Anderson Highland. And it was unreal.
Speaking of that area real quick, I just saw this today. The Fort Wayne Mad Ants are no more. They're now the Noblesville Blast or something. The G League team moved to Noblesville, which is over there in the Anderson area. But no, well, that's kind of more of a summer discussion, comparing apples to apples there with Kentucky and Indiana. But the gyms, the Indiana high school basketball gyms are like the Texas high school football stadiums.
Without a doubt. The Above All Roofing, true or false? Question number 2. Tonight, UK takes on Missouri. Oh. You can hear it right here, 102.7 The Game, and we'll have to go off the air. We'll pass it over to Tom Leach and Goose Givens. And true or false, Dave, this game is an absolute must-win in the BBN world.
You just increased my blood pressure when you brought up Kentucky. It's a must-win. I think it's borderline like would the season be over if they lost today? No, because you still have opportunities. But Vic, you're 9-5 right now, right? So like, come on, you like the stick, the meme, the guy that's poking the dead horse.
I mean,
right?
Let's be honest. Your resume for the NCAA tournament is not much of a resume.
It's not a resume at all. I mean, you got to win over St. John's and Indiana. I do think St. John's and Indiana both make the tournament. So
no, they don't.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Indiana does.
You don't think so?
No, they're not very good.
We'll see.
Nah, St. John's can't score.
We'll see. But going back to Kentucky, I mean, again, man, put your best 5 out there. There was the graphic that came out with the 5, that statistically are the best, and it's just like Pope refused for a guy that's supposed to be caught up in analytics and doing everything by what the data feedback can tells him to do. He's not doing it, Vic. Like, Nate Oates, went on a big tangent about how they scouted Kentucky and they knew once the ball went inside, it wasn't coming back out. And at some point, Mark Pope,
it's a black hole in there.
At some point, put the computer down, put the Excel spreadsheet down, and coach your freaking basketball team. Like the basketball, the level of play right now is absolutely unacceptable. I know Mark Pope's a genius. I know the guy. He's a doctor. He's literally a doctor. He's a dude's
going to med school.
The dude's off the charts, like mentally. Put the computer down and coach your basketball team. Go grab some Rick Pitino tapes from when he was blasting your butts. I think a lot of Big Blue Nation's right. Mark Pope is too nice. Sometimes you got to chew, man, the best teams, Vic, basketball, football, baseball, it don't matter. All the great coaches have one thing in common. They had respect in the locker room. If you didn't do it their way, you can find somewhere else to do it.
Here's what I don't get.
And Mark Pope's over here, it's okay. Man, it's not okay. We're 9-5.
It's
not okay.
I need more of the Brandon Garrison treatment. As Bob Knight said, the greatest motivator, and you can look at every speech, every tool, whatever, the greatest motivator in the world is the bench. Bench sends a message to the butt and says, hey, that sends a message to the heart, and then says the message to the head and says, if I don't like it here, I got to play better.
It's exactly.
Like, I don't understand. Use the bench. Play the guys. There you go. We'll get to the next question. Above all roofing, true or false? Looks like Will Stein's been very active, very successful in the portal so far. Dave, true or false? UK fans have everything to be excited about in this first quote-unquote recruiting season under Will Stein, building a big blue wall with SEC talent.
True. I mean, Kentucky, Will Stein, you got to think, man. Will Stein he's not really available right now. He's only been, I know the story came out with the quarterback that they were the guy from Arizona State that they wanted,
Levitt.
Yeah, Levitt, that he had one day to decide and whatnot. Will Stein is coaching tomorrow night, which you can hear over there on 98.7 Jack FM. They're playing
1027
and 1027. We got both of them, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, they play Friday night.
Oh yes,
tomorrow is Miami Ole Miss. It'll be on both. But, well, on 1027. The Oregon-Indiana game will be picked up in progress after Davis County Apollo.
Yes.
So we'll have most of it.
Yes.
We'll break in to do Davis County Apollo. Got to do that.
Got to do it.
But we'll also have the entirety over on Jack FM.
But Vic, yes, Will Stein is absolutely crushing it. You look at the transfer portal rankings right now. Kentucky 11th. Now, credit to Big Dog and Louisville. First of all, getting the running back Brown to stay, to not leave and go to Texas or Miami. I know they were both kind of after him, throwing a lot of money out. To get him to stay, credit to the 502 Collective in Louisville for keeping him there. But for Kentucky to not have a full coaching staff, to be able to be in 11th right now in team rankings, that's borderline insanity. If you start breaking it down, Indiana right now, and I'm looking at the 247 transfer portal rankings, Indiana in 5th right now. And what I love about it, I think the biggest winners and losers, Vic, in the transfer portal era, in this era of just absolute madness, is going to be the coaches that can properly evaluate players.
Without a doubt. That's what Signetti does so good.
How many 5 stars does Indiana have on their roster right now?
None, as far as I know of.
0. How many? I think they've got like 1 4-star that's playing on the field for them right now. If you can evaluate talent and you can coach those guys, you're going to win football games. And I can't sit here and tell you that Will Stein is going to be like the next, Kurt Signetti or anybody like that. But I know the guys, the quarterback that just came from Notre Dame, Minchie, he took less money than what Nebraska was offered because he believes in Will Stein. And I don't know if you've been following Will Stein's track record with quarterbacks the last couple of years. It's pretty good.
Well, what they do, they need to open a big Blue Nation daycare, and then there's NIL money right there. That's how you get unlimited NIL money.
Oh, man.
Dave, true or false? Above all roofing, true or false?
I'm dead after the daycare.
With the North winning every football national championship in every division so far outside of FBS, and you're going to have Indiana and Oregon playing in one of those two teams will be in the championship game. Is it time to set aside this whole narrative about the South and the SEC that it's no longer true?
Are you trying to kill my Southern heart right now?
I'm just telling you.
Are you trying to kill? You just put that here. Take the pen and just stab it right into my Southern heart right now.
They dominated every division.
You're right. No, listen. I was the leader. I was the conductor of the Southeastern Conference Southern Football Choo-Choo Train. I've been doing it for a while. Vic, you've been telling me I've been crazy for how many months now?
It used to be that way, and the media needs to change their aspect of it and stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. But it goes back to what we said. Everybody is now paying people. Like, it was easy for the SEC to be dominant when they were the only people out there paying them.
Ohio State's been Michigan, been paying people
not quite
for
like
years.
Not like the SEC was.
I don't know.
Even Ed Orgeron said we just walk in the front door now instead of the back door.
That's true.
With the bag.
But no. I think we have to acknowledge the fact that you have to look at what the Midwest and the North is doing right now across all levels of football, and they're dominating. But they're dominating. Like, when I turned on the FCS game the other night and I see Taco Dollar, who's like 5'9", 160 pounds. He literally looked like one of the Catholic High receivers. I mean, he literally looked like one of those dudes. They run good routes. They do everything that's right. And I think this whole notion that you got to be the highest rated, man, I've heard some stories in the past week about how these high-level prospects talk to these college coaches. Mm-hmm. And it's disgusting. And I said that right there is exactly why the SEC is going down. is why they're going south, pun intended.
Because
when you allow a culture of degeneracy and back talking and I'm the guy, I got to get mine, and I'm this and I'm that, you are not going to win at the highest levels. And here's the proof in the pudding. D3 junior college, Illinois college, D1 junior college, Iowa, NAIA, Iowa, D3 Wisconsin, NCAA D2 Michigan, FCS, Montana State, you saw against Illinois State.
They go out and they get those big corn-fed beef front linemen.
And it's not, listen, man, it's somehow it's a culture thing. And it is a culture thing of what you want your locker room to be. There are good kids, white, black, red, brown, blonde hair, Asian. It don't matter about none of that. What matters is the culture you build in your program, in your locker room, and what you're going to tolerate as a coach. Because right now, what's being tolerated around the SEC, when I watch Alabama play football right now, Vic, it's bad football. When Indiana punks Alabama with 11 and 12 personnel and Alabama can't adjust, there's problems in Tuscaloosa.
There you go. I tell you what, we're going to get out of here. We got to take a short break because when we come back, we'll have the Green River Area Federal Credit Union guest of the game, Coach Neil Hayden, Mr. Basketball candidate John Moth. You're listening to Live at 5, 102.7, The Game.
Is money tight, but your home needs a fresh look? Tired of sky-high credit card rates and confusing fine print? Farmers Home Furniture has your back with easy in-house financing, low monthly payments, and 12 months interest-free. Best part? You're shopping with local hometown folks. Plus, get a brand new 40-inch Google TV absolutely free with any size Therapeutic or Sealy mattress set purchase. Shop online anytime or come into the store today. Let's turn your house into a home you'll love. Farmers Home Furniture, your hometown store.
Looking for fun that's cool, active, and perfect for the whole family? Head to Edge Ice Center in Owensboro. Open skate, hockey leagues, figure skating lessons, birthday parties, and private events. All on real ice, right here at home. Whether you're lacing up for the first time or you're a seasoned skater, Edge Ice Center has something for everyone. Stay cool, stay active, and make some memories on ice. Edge Ice Center, where Owensboro comes to skate.
At River Valley Behavioral Health, we know recovery looks different for everyone. That's why we created The Gathering Point, a free walk-in recovery support center open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's a safe, welcoming space where you can connect with peer support, access resources, or just take a break in a judgment-free environment. No referral or appointment needed. Just walk in. To learn more, visit rvbh.com.
For over 35 years, Owensboro Garage Doors has been serving the tri-state area. We have exciting news. Our state-of-the-art showroom and design center is now open on Saturdays from 9 to noon. That's right. You can now visit us on Saturdays at 708 Breckenridge Street. Our team of experts are committed to providing exceptional designs and service. Owensboro Garage Door offers a wide variety of custom garage door options to ensure your garage door fits your unique needs and style. With the best service, parts, and prices, Owensboro Garage Doors will be your go-to for life.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Katie Gunterman. When you're looking for the perfect place to eat, drink, and have a blast, head to Mr. B's Pizza and Wings in Owensboro. Dive into hot, fresh-made pizzas, bold wings, and all your favorite game day classics. And now, take the fun even further at Club 18 Golf, the indoor golf experience right inside Mr. B's. Bring your friends, book a bay, and swing through world-famous courses while enjoying great food and cold drinks. It's the ultimate night out with great eats, great swings, all under one roof. Mr. B's Pizza and Wings in Club 18 Golf, right on Highland Point Drive, where Owensboro comes to play.
Hey y'all, it's Kellyanne Harris with the Harris Group at Keller Williams Elite Realty. As a proud sports mom, I know what it takes to show up, stay focused, and deliver results on the field and in real estate. That's why we're offering our Guaranteed Cash Offer program. We guarantee to get your home sold or we'll buy it. For all your real estate needs, trust the Harris Group. We're always ready to go to work for you. Call us today at 270-929-5857 for the details.
And now,
now, more Live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
It's Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Hotree, your one call for injury law. Before we get to our guest of the game, Dave, Saturday, you got Bulls, Bands, and Barrels, Saturday, January 10th at the Sports Center. It's not your granddad's rodeo. They got bullfighting, they got bull riding, they got barrel racing, whatever you want. They may even have that bull bingo out there again.
And you got Big X the Plug, man.
There you go.
That's, you know what I mean? It's turning up at the Ford Center this week.
Well, we're being joined by Coach Neil Hayden from Davis County, newly the number 2 all-time in wins at Davis County. You passed Mike West last night. Coach, congratulations, and off to a great start, like 12-3, undefeated against teams in Kentucky. You know, you knew coming in that this was going to be a team. You know, you returned a lot from last year's regional tournament. You added a couple players. You felt like it was going to be a really good team. But have they met your expectations here in the first half of the season?
Oh, absolutely. You know, there's always things you can get better at, but we wanted to challenge our guys. I think we've played games that I've been calling truth teller games. Like you can find out a lot about yourselves in the games that we've played. And you talk about those 3 losses. Those are against, one of them was the number 9 team in the country. 2 of those were prep schools that we found out a lot about ourselves, and then we would go to a really good Lexington Catholic tournament where we played some of the best players and teams in the state, and all of our guys got up to those games. So it's been good for us.
Coach, I want to ask you about, because you've been right in the thick of this, but having the grind session come to Kentucky and run here in Owensboro and run different dates in Louisville now, I mean, you're getting to see, like, not only you guys, but, St. X, and, of course, there's several prep schools that come in and play. Do you feel like – I feel like it's elevated the national spotlight on Kentucky high school basketball because you look at the way you guys have competed and the way St. X has competed. I mean, what's your thoughts on the grind session and the elevation of that?
Dan Hudson does a great job with it, and I've enjoyed getting to know him, and I think, again, St. X and us have getting to play in some of those games and compete. And honestly, I think we would have won our game against the number 9 team in the country because De'Aaron ended up getting some foul trouble, and that would have been a huge platform for our school. But to get to play those teams and compete and win just shows you that there's some good players in Kentucky. But it also says that, honestly, I'll approach this from a high school standpoint. You can stay home with your schools and play against high-level teams and win. I felt like all 3 games we had a chance to win those games and led in the 4th. And some things went the other way or some free throws, but no, we want to compete at a high level, and I thought we did that.
I think that's a good point because I know I'd put it home for our man Jonathan Moss here. We'll get to him here in just a second. But, I always think about the year Owensboro won state. Well, the next year, if that Apollo team comes back and stays together and didn't go – because I think all 3 of the big players went off to prep school. They stay home. Holy crap. I mean, the city of Owensboro could have potentially went back-to-back in 14 and 15. I think it's a great point, Vic.
Yeah, I've got to ask you, Coach, as a coach, which is tougher? You're down 2 and one of your guys is at the free throw line shooting free throws, or the girls' team's down 2 and you're watching, and the Hayden's down there shooting free throws at the free throw line. Which drives you which a little tougher, gets the stomach going?
The way our guys are shooting free throws, I'd rather have my daughter shooting.
Something that you didn't do well last night.
Yeah, no, did not. So that's something we got to get better at. But, one, I trust my daughter to shoot any shot she wants to shoot, but I also trust her guy, especially this guy.
Yeah, talk about this guy a little bit. You came out last night, I think the thing that doesn't get talked about enough about John and about Davis County as a whole is when you guys want to play some lockdown defense, you get your hands on a lot of balls. He had like 5 steals last night to go along with his 25 points. I had him for unofficially around 6 assists. Don't know what the official stat was. But, I mean, he's a guy that can he's not just a scorer. And I think and not only that, he scores, but there are scorers out there that are volume shooters, and he's not that. He's very efficient.
Yeah. Oh, he's the most efficient player in the state. And he is – and I think he proved this last week at Lexington. He's the best player in the state. And he may or may not say that. He's modest, but his value to what he does more than just scoring, because he's not shooting. And maybe somebody can criticize me, but we don't have anybody that shoots 30 shots a game. And there's some balance to it, and there's some things that he does. But the beauty of Jay's game is he's willing to give up a good shot for a great shot by a teammate. And if they don't shoot it, they hear about it. But then he turns around and will defend and rebound, holds the record for assists in our school, holds the record for steals in our school. and he's one of the top scorers in our school history.
Well, not only that, he go up with now, John Moss, Mr. Basketball candidate. I've got to ask you a little bit about the Lexington Catholic tournament. You go out of school up there. I think play 5 ranked teams up there. You get wins in every game. Played really well. And what I loved about it, John, is you guys found ways to win different games. You won one game where you guys went 3 of 17 from the 3-point line. Talk about that tournament and what you felt like the team learned and what you learned about your team up there.
What I did learn is that we fight through hard situations, and then we can go against any team and see anything and still adjust to it. Because every team we played, we seen something different, and we didn't really have a problem with it. We just adjusted and kept playing.
And you've been to the Sweet 16 a couple times, and that's a grind and a run through there. Going to play these holiday tournaments, do you think that helps you prepare? If you guys can get back to the Sweet 16 to make a run?
Oh, yeah, for sure, especially with the teams we've been playing. Besides the teams in the state, the prep schools we played, it just made us better. And when we come down here, that's why you see what we do against the teams in Kentucky, because we playing against better competition.
And I'm still mad about that Ashland loss. We were 15 points better than them. But I want to ask you, man, because looking back, I've been following. I remember watching you in middle school over there at College View and balling out over there, and following your career, Jonathan. I always thought, because your brother, he's kind of the same size, and then somewhere along the line, Coach, you might tell me what year it was, you kind of hit a growth spurt. Then I look out on highlights, watching your AAU highlights, you're yamming dunks. I'm like, when was it did that growth spurt? Do you feel like that really kind of
hung out with Barry Bonds?
But do you feel like that growth spurt that happened maybe you were a sophomore, maybe a year? Do you feel like that really kind of propelled you? Your body got more physical and kind of maybe propelled you to a higher level because you just physically were bigger and stronger?
Yeah, for sure. The growth spurt really helped a lot because, I was just undersized playing varsity. And, once I got the growth spurt and my body started to get easier for me.
Because I was sitting there thinking, I was like, he's 5'8" and doing that. And they were like, no, he grew up. He's 6 foot
he
now.
He put ahead of game the other day. I remember looking, he had 8 rebounds. And I was like, there's a guy that will go in and rebound with the big boys.
And Coach, as we're here with Davis County head basketball coach Neil Hayden and Mr. Kentucky basketball candidate Jonathan Moss from Davis County High School basketball. And I thought you said it best. He doesn't have to be a volume shooter. And I don't know what it is. Every time I turn on a stream, when I catch a stream and you guys are playing, this guy never misses. And I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, they're like, can Moss win Mr. Basketball? I said, absolutely he can. I said, the kid has Ty Price range, but doesn't have to take the volume of shots that Ty Price. When you got a point guard that can distribute to De'Aaron, Michael, Lamont, you got, Randolph hanging out there in the corner waiting to do his Dylan Sanford impersonation. When you got a guy that can do all those type of things and doesn't need the shots, talk about that from a coaching standpoint. It's got to be just thank the Lord, right?
Well, he's a coach's dream.
Yeah.
And I only say that when I'm around you guys, because if I say it from him, it's too much.
He don't know how to take it right now. He's like, what?
You've got to guard our guys because he's going to make the read. So you can't just say, all right, we're going to deny him the ball or stay on him, or we're going to stay out on the other guys, and then you're opening up the lane for him. He puts pressure on the defense constantly with his reads. And to our coach's credit and his credit, we play a system where it's not predetermined. You've got to go play. So I don't even know where he's going to throw it. And then the shooting part, he started as an 8th grader and spent a lot of time in our gym, has worked over the years in the morning, coming in at night, working out with other trainers on his own. This hasn't happened because he grew a little bit and got a little bit stronger. He is
put the work in.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is a testament to what it takes to become a great player because of what he's done, what his family's done for him. He's gotten there the right way, and it's been fun to watch.
John, I had to ask you because you guys come in, kind of a target on your back of the defending 3rd region champs, but you also add 3 new pieces, from last year's team to this year, moving in, with transfers. How has that adjustment been? I watch you guys hang out. I go down to Calicut Bowling Green football game week 1, and I run into you and De'Aaron Watkins and Michael Acton. But how's that whole chemistry been adding these new pieces in with Acton coming in and Ratcliffe coming in and Randolph coming in?
Well, I feel like we all just clicked instantly. You could see it in the summer because, I played with some of them already. But,
right. In AAU ball, you play with a lot of different people.
Yeah, and then, we all just clicked because, we all know our roles. Nobody came in thinking, selfish-minded. We all knew what to do.
You know, and I think it's got to be a coach's dream too, and also for you. You know, I've watched you guys play 3 or 4 times, and there's a night you have 24. There's a night that Watkins goes for 24 and 22 rebounds.
I think Acton was the lead.
Had one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really kind of a selfless basketball team that it's just, hey, tonight he's hitting everything. Let's see if we can get him open. Is that kind of how it goes out each game?
Yeah.
And I got to ask you, and I'll get both of your thoughts on this, because, you know, we were talking about this earlier, and you just said it, you know, with the chemistry that you guys, you'll played together for so long, and you kind of just go out there and you all know what each other's doing. I feel like Grayson County kind of doesn't have that right now, because those kids probably didn't come up together in a way that you and Michael and some of those other guys did. You know, is that something that you guys, do y'all talk about that internally at all, about like that potential matchup with Grayson County, or is that just something, is it just a game-by-game kind of thing?
It's just a game by game. We're not really worried about Grayson County.
Well, where I'll jump in on that is what I'm trying to do with these guys is let's keep them present to what we need to do today.
Right.
But as far as the other guys, like the biggest compliment I can give our team right now is I get to coach basketball. I'm not dealing with some locker room issue that some guy's upset because he didn't make this number of shots or he didn't get this many minutes. Like these guys want to hoop, like Jonathan, but our other players as well, they want to go play in these games and these events. And they want to, like they got up for last night. And I was worried about, and now we get into regional play and we're not moving around as much. Like, all right, where's our minds going to be? And they were great. They want to make an imprint on this season. And so we're taking it day by day.
Do you, Jonathan, take a little bit of pride in, like, I know people don't think of you as a defensive player, but I know it was kind of a lethargic first quarter last night. You know, I didn't think you guys played exceptionally well, maybe settled for some shots. Coach Hayden puts on the 2-2-1, the 2-1-2 trap, and all of a sudden everybody's getting hands-on basketballs, and I had you like unofficially for like 18 steals. I think your stat keeper was a little low last night. But, does that something you take pride in, that you're a better defender than maybe what people think you are? Like, I've seen you last year where you had the matchup with Ty Price and you held him to like 8 and then just absolutely shut him down. I mean, you can flat play D. I don't think you get the credit for it. Is that something you take pride in and that you want to be a good defender?
Yeah, for sure. Like, people, like, just doubt me on that side. So, especially this year, I'm definitely taking one pride in it, but I still got a lot to do.
Who are these people? Do they have a death? If you're doubting this guy on either side of the ball, like, you got a death wish. I got to ask, obviously, decommitted from Chattanooga and recruitment is still open right now. Is that something and you can list some schools that are contacted, and if not, that's fine too. But is that something that continuously happens throughout the season where you hear from coaches, or is that something that you're just not worried about right now until after the season? What's that process looking like for you?
Well, the reason I committed was to get it over with and not really deal with it in the season, but I felt like me decommitting is what I needed to do. So, I mean, I'm still hearing from, like, right now. So
yeah, so you're getting, the colleges are reaching out to you right now. You're still getting a lot of attention. You got any favorites, any leaders in the clubhouse, anything like that? It's just fair game right now, isn't it?
Right now it's just open to everybody.
Yeah, Jerry Maguire.
Show me the money. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? And I've got to ask, we talk about it. I think you're well aware of it. Coach Hayden talks about this as, a bona fide top 2 or 3 Mr. Basketball candidate. And I know you know what that award means and stuff, but I'm just curious, as a guy that is, do you ever, you know who the contenders are out there. You know the names. You've played some of them. Do you ever, jump on the website and see what this guy did last night, or this guy, or is it just all about I'm going out and playing my game? Or do you ever stat watch anybody else?
Not just worry about me.
Just worry about you.
Well, let me ask you this, because as I think about, for us, Evan Hampton kept a Post-it note on his whatever he has in his bedroom there, and he said, I want to win Mr. Football. Is that something that is a goal for you that maybe you've had since you've been young, or is that something you don't even think about?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it since 8th grade, since I started playing high school ball.
Nice.
Like, I want to get it. So
you want to wear that number 1 jersey?
For sure.
And talk a little bit about you and De'Aaron have a unbelievable relationship. I see you guys hang out. I know y'all played a lot of AU ball together even before he came up here. And like I said, I saw you and Michael Acton. Just talk about what do you guys do off the court? I mean, do you guys hang out? Are you guys that hang out a lot together off the court as a teammates, or
we're with each other like every day.
Are you really? Yeah. All of you?
Especially the weekends.
Okay. Hanging out there. There you go. And who's the leader of that group? Are you the leader on the basketball floor, and are you leading the group off the basketball floor too?
Yeah.
What do you guys do on the weekends? I mean, PlayStation 5, you guys any gamers or anything?
Well, Jay's the worst 2K player of the team.
Well, he's always out shooting real basketball. He don't have time to be much of a PlayStation 5 player.
Yeah, I won't be on the game for real.
Do you rage? Do you rage on 2K? Because I get mad. Like is it the worst?
Yeah, I rage at every game.
Well, I've got to ask you. I mean, and I know Coach Hayden. I'll ask both of you. I mean, I don't think this team is anywhere near its peak form yet. I mean, as we talked about, there's been some games haven't shot free throws well. And that's something that Davis County for the last couple of years put them on the foul line. It was 2 points. Didn't have to worry about it. I mean, you still see some growth in this basketball team going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're grading them on things, and they're knowing they're getting feedback on those grades, and you know, we're telling them some things that they need to do better. I've got Coach Tony Hopper is a mentor of mine and talks to me on a weekly basis, watches our games, and he tells me some things that I need to be doing better. And so it's, you know, we want, you know, and I've said this a lot to them, anything in life, whether it's basketball or something else, why would you not want the most out of it?
Right.
So let's go be the very best version. So let's tell the truth. Let's be honest. Let's address the elephant in the room, and then let's deal with it. Our intent is that we love each other. So if we can come with that intent, he'll let me tell him, you're not doing this. You're not cutting hard enough. Or, De'Aaron, why in the world would you ever miss a free throw? Like, he's 49% from three. Why should you not be an 80% free throw shooter?
Right. Yeah, without a doubt.
So I feel like they're letting me do that. But I think they let me do that because they know where we're coming from.
Right. When you start from a place of love, then it's you got to you know, the culture has to be that this has got to be created first. Then we can do anything. I got to ask you about a play last night. Is you had the fast break with Randolph last night, and you were going to try to bang one off the backboard, and you dunk it home. Was that kind of planned? Did you have that? Have y'all been working on that, or is that just something that happened? Yeah. Didn't quite work out. I don't think you got it up high enough for you.
It was a bad lob, but we throw some. Yeah.
You throw some lobs every now and then. All right.
I got to ask you, the nerd, the film nerd in me is what's the feedback from Coach Hopper? More motion, better screens off the ball, like because he's a motion guy. Like I remember Tony Hopper, that you'd be 2 minutes into a set, and you know all of a sudden, boom, wide open layup.
He's relaxed on that a little bit, which you know it's always you got to defend and you got to box out, and you know it's good criticism or good feedback, and it's intentional about he's come around and met some of these guys and been around them, and so it's little things like snapping your wrists and holding your follow through. It's nothing huge schematic thing of changing things. Like, I played for him and coached under him, so there's a lot of similarities of how I think to his credit. And so it's usually just reminders. I mean, you're talking about a world of wisdom right there.
Oh, yeah. He's a legend.
Oh, yeah.
Did Coach Payne give up and give like a valid speech last night when you get ready to play Brett County? I mean, he's been banned from Beautiful Scenic Card, and I saw out there on social media they called him a traitor. I mean, did he give you a speech and get you fired up last night, or was it just another game for him?
Just another game. He didn't really say much about it.
Now, is there anybody out there that gets your juices flowing more? Is it just I love to go out and play every game like it's my last? Or is there anybody out there that that you got to play, or maybe it was the grind session when you went to those prep schools? Did any of that even get the juices flowing anymore? Or is it just, hey, I just love to go play basketball?
I'd say like the three big teams that we played, because I feel like it helped me more to show I could play at like a high level, especially against because I played St. Joseph's and they had a top ranked kid on my team, which he was good, but I feel like I held my own.
Okay. I mean, I know Coach A said you wouldn't say it, but I mean, you consider yourself to be the best basketball player in the state of Kentucky, don't you?
Yeah, I think I'm number one.
I do too.
Actually,
I love that.
I know I'm number one. You hear that, Mark Pope and Pat Kelsey? He's number one.
And I know you got to go through the steps. From Friday night, LME 102.7 The Game will be there. You guys get Apollo at home. Another district matchup. They've been playing well. I mean, these district matchups. I mean, I know you guys play against each other and you all know each other, but they still kind of drive the bus a little bit, don't they?
Yeah, especially this game right here.
Why is this one so important? You don't have to say.
No. I liked it. That's a leader. He's watching his words carefully. He doesn't want to give any bulletin board material. But at the end of the day, that's still a rivalry. I mean, Davis County, Apollo, you guys don't like each other. Y'all ain't sending each other Christmas cards. And talk about you guys are already, 1-0 in the district, I believe. Talk about, the importance of trying to get that number one seed and just, making it to where you can have the best path possible moving forward.
It's very important to us. I mean, I don't really got too much to say about that one, but It is important.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just one of the process that steps along the way to try to repeat as third region champions and get back to Rupp Arena. And Coach A, like I said, congratulations. You know, Mike West, my dad coached Little League baseball with him. Dave and I got to go see him in traffic school a couple times. That was always a good thing. But moving to number 2 in the list, I wasn't sure who's number 1 on the list.
Coach Snyder, who coached in the 40s.
Okay.
Was there for a long, long time. And so So when you think of the runner-up state championship team, that was him.
Okay.
And then in Coach West, he's great.
He is.
And, you know, his grandson, Aiden, is a freshman on our varsity team. So that's why I wanted to make sure I put that name out there last night, that just to pay honor to him, because he had 2 stints at Davis County.
Yeah.
So
won a regional title there too.
Yes. So for me personally, to be anywhere around that name is special for me.
I think people forget just how good a basketball player he was in the city of Louisville. He was a dominant basketball player. And but good luck Friday night. Thank you guys for joining us and coming in for, on this. And, like I said, 102.7 will be there for the More Automotive Game of the Week. And they're always special. District games are special. How hard is it when you are the defending champs and this team's playing so well? How hard is it to lock in just day by day by day and not start looking ahead? It's real easy sometimes where you see this with, I think the Chiefs did this a few times, where the regular season, you kind of go through the motions, and when the playoffs get here, we'll turn the lights on. This is a team that's been locked in, game out. I mean, how hard is that to do that as a coaching staff to get these guys prepared that way?
It's not. I think as a staff, which I have a great staff, I think we have some wonderful coaches that we're going to take this a day at a time. And I know that's coaching cliche stuff, but you can't get far ahead. And when you do, you can turn around and get bit. So the fear of something bad happening is way bigger of a drive than looking ahead to something good. And so that pain of losing hurts.
I wanted to ask you, Jim, I said it earlier when we were talking about you guys, when you have opportunities like last night where you can get guys off the bench more minutes, and because, you guys go about 7 deep, but, God forbid he gets in foul trouble, gets you an opportunity to get some kids some minutes.
Well, and same thing that happened to St. Joe's. We got in foul trouble with De'Aaron, and we got to play some guys, and we know we need that. So we're looking forward to our guys playing.
Coach Neil Hayden, the number 2 all-time in wins, Mr. Basketball candidate John Moss, thanks for coming, guys. We'll see you tomorrow live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
You've been listening to Live at 5 on 102.7 The Game. Special thanks to Foreman Watson Hultree for sponsoring the preceding broadcast. FWHlegal.com. Tune in next time for Live at 5 on 102.7 The Game.
Teams that reached out about John Harbaugh. So that means a team with a sitting head coach could potentially try to hire John Harbaugh. Widely speculated, the Miami Dolphins potentially could have been that team. But what if there's another team in the mix? May I suggest one? How about the Washington Commanders? Dan Quinn's a good coach. Is he a great coach? Well, he's been to the Super Bowl, didn't win that one, 28-3, might I remind you, with the Atlanta Falcons. And he's a good man. And I'm not trying to fire him, but John Harbaugh coaching Jaden Daniels right near where he is physically right now,